as a business owner, you're probably feeling excited and passionate about certain projects, but unaware that it might stem from a layer of fear. So while things may feel consciously really exciting and really good on the surface, what I'm going to go through in this video are 3 signs that your excitement may stem from this unconscious pattern of fear. So let's dive in. Hello to you and welcome to another episode of the Awaken Your Business podcast. My name is Tyson Sharp. Of course, if you know me, you know I love helping light workers, heart-centered business owners integrate their spirituality with their business strategy. And so if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe and get notified for whenever I release new content. You'll be up to date. But I wanted to kick off this episode with a little bit of a story. It was probably 6 to 8 months ago. I was invited into a Zoom room full of business owners, probably about 35 business owners or so. And I was invited to come in and do some coaching around fears, coaching around, helping people overcome these limiting beliefs when it comes to business and money and all those different things. And what I found myself doing was I asked a question to a lady that really rocked her back. And it was a question because she raised her hand, started talking, and she said in her life she felt fine. In her life, she felt okay. She felt good. And I asked her a question. I said, do you feel good because that's who you are? Or do you feel good because your external circumstances just match the way you think your mind thinks it should be? And it really rocked her back. And it really got her to think at a deep level. And that's the deep level that I want to go to here. In this episode, in this video, in this podcast, wherever you're watching it, one thing that I'll highlight are 3 signs that you can notify within yourself to know, is your excitement, is your conscious feeling on the surface being driven by something that's a lot deeper, by something that may be resentful, may be fearful, may be scarcity based. And it's sort of similar to when you're in a rip. I'm not sure how many of you around the world spend time at the ocean, but when there's a rip, you can generally see on the surface, it feels very, very calm. But underneath are the rapids. Underneath is the vortex that's sucking people out into the ocean. That's sort of similar to what the emotional world can be on the entrepreneurial journey. On the surface, we can feel excited, we can feel pumped up, we can feel passionate. But underneath, we need to ask ourselves why. And so at the end of the video, I'll also give 4 key tips, 4 little steps that you can start to shift these patterns and really start to feel not only consciously more clear and more excited, but also that unconsciously it's not being driven by an aspect of fear. So to dive in here first, before we get into the 3 signs and before we get into the 4 steps, I want to ask you a question, a deep question that I want you to meditate on just for a moment. So feel free to breathe deep and ask yourself, why are you excited? Why are you excited? Why are you excited about this project or this upcoming opportunity or the things that social media poses, opportunities for us to spread our message, whatever it is? Why is it that you're excited? And I want you to think deeper than just the result. Because sometimes people can feel excited, they can feel happy, they can feel pumped up and they can feel passionate. But then they look and they see, I actually want that result for a very, very different reason. So why are you excited? Are you excited because you feel like there will be better than here? Are you excited because once you have this result, you will feel more safe? Maybe you'll feel more worthy. Maybe you'll feel more loved. Maybe other people will portray you in a certain way. Why are you excited? Why are you feeling like that is such a big task, a big pull, a big journey and a big step in your life? Really think about that. Really think, if this is really my calling, if this is really my pull, then what would happen if I don't achieve that result? If I don't achieve that result, will I feel just as excited? And this can start to get the ball rolling, because if you feel some sort of disappointment or anger or frustration with not achieving it, You may have something to work with here. You may have something that's coming up that's ready to be seen. And we can dive in deep into this in terms of the signs and definitely in terms of the steps that are coming next. So sign number 1, that your excitement might be stemming from fear. That, of course, is attachment to outcomes. If you're attached to your circumstances, if you're attached to the outcome and the result, that means you feel like I need to achieve that. And if I don't, I'm worse off, right? Where your emotional journey is tied into, your emotional journey is attached to any external circumstance or results, whatever it may be. So ask yourself that question again. What happens if you don't achieve this? What happens if you go on the journey and it doesn't happen? What will you feel? Will you be just as excited about life? Or will you be disappointed and let down and feel like the world isn't made for you, or this journey isn't for you? What is it for you? Ask yourself that question and really start to become aware. Am I attached to this result? Am I attached to this outcome? If so, you may start to recognize why it is you feel excited and what might be the pattern that is underneath it. And sign number 2 is excessive control. This is also the controlling ego, right? The excessive controlling ego of saying, I know how life should be. I know how other people should behave and what they should think and what they should feel. I know how my marketing, my business and the responses, everything needs to pan out. It's stemming from a belief and a story that says, I know how it should go. And if you know how it should go, you can see some of that is outside your control. And if you're trying to grab on, if you're trying to control everything and you're trying to really be excessive in that area, you can start to feel that this is an excessive controlling pattern. And when you're having an excessive controlling pattern and you're coming from a place of ego, of trying to make everything the way you think it should be, you can see it might be stemming, that excitement might be stemming from a place of fear. It might be stemming from a place of frustration, or might be stemming from a place of lack that says, I'm not okay and I'm better off if everything goes the way I think it should, and I'm better off and okay as long as everything outside of me starts to match the way my mind thinks it should be. And what you'll find is that if you are truly hooked, like we said, attached to results, and also trying to control things that are outside your control, and you believe that your emotions are attached to that, that's when you can go crazy. That's when it can really start to ramp up the emotional journey of just fear, doubt, frustration. And it all comes from that belief, like, I need to control my external circumstances. Sign number 3 is resisting emotion. Are you trying to achieve this outcome, whether it be financial, whether it be in terms of social media numbers, whether it be in terms of amount of clients? Are you achieving that so that you avoid an emotion? Are you trying to achieve that in your life so that you avoid feeling scarcity, or feeling fear, or feeling frustration, or feeling alone? Are you trying to achieve that external circumstance to avoid an emotion? Because many people are feeling the fear, doubt, frustration, so therefore they're going out to achieve something big so they don't feel that. That's how consciously you can feel excited, because you think, if I achieve that, I won't feel this. But as we all know, if you watched my videos or my content or my podcast, you know, as soon as you avoid an emotion, you're avoiding yourself. You're avoiding the side of you that needs to be seen. And so this is a clear sign. If you are avoiding an emotion, if you're feeling the uncomfortable emotion and you take action from that, trying to avoid it, not feel it, that's how your conscious patterns of maybe some excitement or happiness or passion can stem from a place of fear. So if you're feeling like this might be you, if you're feeling like, this is actually starting to resonate, if you're starting to feel that these patterns might be deeper than you initially thought, I've got 4 steps, 4 little tips, 4 little strategies that are going to help you really shift this in a new light. So step number 1, trust. This is deepening your level of trust. It's deepening the level of trust in your higher self. It's deepening the level of trust within the universe or God, whatever you want to call it, universal mind. It's really trusting that as long as you follow your highest excitement, and as long as you have released outcomes, released attachment to circumstances and assumptions at what it might look like, you can trust that the higher level opportunities will come your way along with the higher lessons that you know you need to learn. So deepening that level of trust that says, if I go on this journey and I follow my highest excitement, I'm okay with feeling the fear. I'm okay with feeling the sadness along the way, the confusion. I might feel lost. But as long as you trust that everything is happening for you, everything is happening you along the steps, even if your mind can't see it, deepening that level of trust within yourself and within the universe so that you can go on your divine path, that's how you know you can start to clear a lot of this emotional clutter that might be underneath the surface. Step number 2 is to stay in your expansion. If you stay in your expansion, you're in congruence with your soul. Your soul is always wanting to expand, always wanting to create, always wanting to get outside your comfort zone so you can have different experiences. It evolves through experience. And if you have different experiences, and that involves the joy, that involves the excitement, that also involves the fear, right? It involves that conflict of always wanting to challenge yourself so you can expand. If you stay in that expansion, if you stay in your creativity, if you stay in your flow, if you stay in doing what is on the edge of life, what you'll find is that you're okay with everything. You're okay with everything that comes your way. Therefore, it all comes to the surface. All of the fears, the doubts, the love, the joy, the excitement, definitely the expansion. If you stay in that expansion, if you stay on your path of what feels aligned, what feels expansive, instead of what's safe, what you'll find is that there'll be very little unconscious patterns that are driving your boat. You'll be cruising along on a journey of expansion that's scary but also exciting. But that's the joy here. The joy is to welcome the excitement and also welcome the fear. You do that by consistently asking yourself, how do I stay in my expansion rather than what do I do to feel safe and comfortable and inside my comfort zone? This leads us to step 3, which is ask within. Every single time we're reaching for something externally and we're excited about something externally in terms of a result or an outcome, we really need to ask ourselves, what is it actually that I'm after? If I'm on my expansive journey and if I'm trusting, what is it that I'm actually after? What is it that my soul's pulling me towards? It won't be more Instagram followers. It won't be an extra 10, 20, 100 grand in the bank. What is it actually you're after? What deeply is your soul leading you on this path towards? If you sit in meditation long enough, you'll reach a deeper answer. It might be more aspects of love, more aspects of connection, more aspects of belonging. It might be something deep towards, I just want to follow this dharma and this calling to help me contribute at a new level. There is always a deeper answer. There's always something that we're after that goes beyond the external circumstance, the external result, the external thing we can get. We're not here to get. And so ask yourself, what is it actually that you're after? If it's love, peace, joy, if it's more abundance, if it's to feel connected to something larger than yourself, sit there and realize that's already in you. Ask yourself, what is it I'm after? What is it that I'm truly after? How can I find it within myself right now? When you do that, all the unconscious patterns will start to dissipate because they'll start to feel free to resolve and dissolve. As soon as you start to realize what you're actually after is something a lot deeper. And step number 4, maintain your vibration. This one can be challenging, especially for those who have the pattern that says, my external life controls my emotions. But here's the thing. If you're achieving, if you're experiencing that result, and you're experiencing that wholeheartedly, and you lived it as your reality right now, whether it be the love, the abundance, the money, the client, the impact, what would you be feeling? What vibration would you be at if you're already living it? If you're already living that reality, where you wake up every morning, you put your feet on the floor, and you just say, yes, this is all here. This is all here now. What would your vibration be? What would your energy, what would your emotional state be? Here's the question. Can you be that way now, even if you don't have it? Can you vibrate from that place, even if you don't have that external result? Can you vibrate at that energy on the journey to the result, knowing it doesn't even matter if I achieve that. What matters is my vibration and the journey along the way and who I become. And every single step along the way, whether it be a challenge or a random opportunity that comes up, you maintain that vibration. That's the challenge. That's the challenge for you. That's the challenge for all of us, to evolve along the journey and use those external circumstances and external results as the journey for us to evolve. That's all it is. All it is the goal is there and the achievement is there to bring up the challenges necessary for us to maintain our vibration and strengthen that within ourselves. So can you maintain that vibration and separate yourself from all the circumstances, the events, the challenges, everything that may come or be lost along the way? That is your challenge. That is step number 4, so that you can maintain that energy, you can maintain that vibration along the journey. So now it's time for you to share your truth. Which of the 3 signs have you identified within yourself? Which one resonates the most within you and you've identified? And which of the 4 steps are you excited to implement? I'll be reading your comments below. I'll be happy to read them and respond. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the serving circle, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care, guys.